From the tip off, we don't miss talk. Break it down, every board, every wrist flick shot. From MJ fadeaways to D-Rose cross days to them on the clutch, whole crowd in the days. We got legends on the banners, new blood on the floor. From the Black Front ride to that West Side roll. 3 mics, 1 squad, same dream, same pop. Yeah, jerkies on my mind, every play, every time. Turn it up to that rush. This is Bull Talk, this is us. Say it loud, say it proud.
Bulls Nation. The Bulls have spent the offseason completely changing the direction of this franchise. But here's the question no one can avoid anymore. How long is this rebuild actually going to take? We are joined today by special guest Izzy Randazzo of the Roundtable Sports, and we are here to answer exactly that question. But before we get into it, Izzy, welcome. Am I pronouncing your name right? I see 2 Z's, and I fellow paisano in me goes right to Randazzo. So I is that pronounced correctly?
Yeah, I mean, either one. I feel like the Italian pronunciation is Randazzo. Whenever I'm in Italy, that's the normal one. But we're in Chicago. There's some Italians, but there's some non-Italian. So you're totally fine either way. If you want to be fancy, make it fancy. If not, say it the normal way. Whatever.
Wow, the way the Randazzo part, that was you had a better pronunciation than me. Do you speak it as well?
A little bit, yeah. So my dad's side is from Sicily. So
same. Wow.
Oh my gosh, twin. I love that.
Yeah, me and my family were from Palermo, so.
Okay, cool. My family's from like 2 really small little villages, kind of by a little bit like by Palermo. Sicily's small, so it's like all kind of relative.
I always say it's basically Illinois on its side, so.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, that's a good observation, I would say.
Dan Gracey, don't think I didn't notice you there, big fella. How you doing?
Pretty good.
I know you're not Italian, but that's okay. We can't all be perfect.
No, sorry. I can't.
Honorary.
How's your Sunday going?
Pretty good. It's my birthday, so got some stuff going on after this.
Oh, do you? What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Going out to dinner with the fam and just hanging out with the wife.
Nice. There you go.
Amazing.
There you go.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Happy birthday, Dan. Indeed. I was gonna say it in the group chat, but I'm like, what? I'm gonna say it to him. It means more when you say it in person. What can I say?
Yeah,
I think so.
Chat, welcome in. If you're just piling in, show some love for Izzy in the comment section by saying what's up. But Izzy, if you're familiar with the show, we start every single show with a game that I like to call trivia. It used to be called Tuesday Trivia, but we moved the show from Tuesday to Sunday, so it wouldn't fit. But so it's just trivia from now on. And our trivia question today was inspired by the fan favorite, the 4th overall pick, Caleb Wilson, the future phenom of this team. To bring this Bulls team back to the standards that we expect. As we all know, we heard him publicly say that he wants to be Rookie of the Year. He feels like he's good enough to be Rookie of the Year. And for that, I wanted to do a deep dive and think how many Bulls players actually won the title. And then I thought even better, why not ask you guys? So my trivia question today is, how many times in the history of the Chicago Bulls franchise has a Bulls player won Rookie of the Year? And Chad, if you're joining us, feel free to leave your answer in the comment section and see if you're right.
Yeah, so I only know 2, and that's Jordan and Derrick Rose. That's all I really know.
I was going to say, if you're stumped, one of the answers is on the screen right now. He's holding the trophy.
Yeah.
So your answer is 2.
That's what I'm going to go with.
All right. Izzy?
It's probably more than 2, Izzy. So
I don't know why, but like my intuition's saying 4. I don't know. I feel like that's not right, but like for some reason 4 is like calling to me.
It could have been 4 at one point.
Did Artis win Rookie of the Year?
No. Well, if he did, I don't think it was.
I don't even know if they had the award at that time.
All right, so right in between, it's wild. 1 pick 2, 1 pick 4, 3. So the Chicago Bulls have hosted 3 rookies of the year, rookie of the years, rookies of the year, rookie of the years. 3 players have won rookie of the year. Dan Gracey, you're partially right because actually 2 players won it cleanly, but 1 player shared it with a different one. Do you remember who that
What?
was?
No,
Yeah, we've had 1 co-rookie of the year.
that's stupid.
So
I
Yeah,
don't
remember
like
what?
that.
That's crazy.
I
do
don't
you
like that.
remember? Do you remember Elton Brand?
Yeah.
So Elton Brand actually won co-rookie of the year with Steve Francis back in was it 99 2000. So we had 2.5. I mean, I'll call it 3 just because we haven't had very many.
Yeah.
So 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then actually you would have been correct with 4 because the year that Ben Gordon was on the team, Ben Gordon put on an absolutely phenomenal performance that season, and for all intents and purposes could have been rookie of the year, but I believe Emeka Okafor edged him out and took that one. So here we sit with 3, hopefully 4 after this season. So, so good try. I mean, you guys were right on. I mean, you were right there. I mean, I gave you one of the answers, but
Still.
all right. Well, now that we're all warmed up, we'll move right into the next segment, and that is the old hornometer question. For those of you just joining us for the first time, the hornometer question is I give you a scenario, and you gauge it on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident you are in the question that I have asked. And today's hornometer question was inspired by the upcoming Chicago Bulls season, and that is on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that the Chicago Bulls will win at least 35 games this season? Chat, feel free to leave your hornometer answers in the comment section, and we will shout them out. Izzy, I'll let you go first. How confident are you?
Yeah.
Scale of 1 to 10.
I'm going to say 8.
Oh, I like the optimism. Absolutely. Okay. What's driving that number?
I think just because, like, I don't think that we're going to be winning every single game. Of course, there's some fans that are on one side of the extreme that are like, oh my gosh, this team is back. Every single game is going to be won, or, like a very, intense volume of games. And then there's fans on the other side of that extreme that are like, no, we're going to be washed. And I think, I think that they are certainly going to win more games than last year, but this is like the path towards the rebuild is definitely paved. We're on the path. We're actively, moving forward, but it's going to take some time for things to fall into place. But I think there's an enhanced energy, and I feel like it's looking a lot better. The vibes are a lot better. So definitely going to be successful. Hopefully escape the play-in purgatory. But
I like that.
I don't think playoff contention just yet. So I'm gonna go more than 35.
Okay. I like that. I like
okay.
that. Dan Gracey, how confident are you that the Bulls will win at least 35 games?
I'm also going to say 8.
Oh, okay. Same reasoning, or do you got your own spin?
Pretty much. I mean, the vibes are right this time around. We actually have a game plan going forward. And yeah, I think this roster is a lot better than last year's roster.
Yeah, by far, and definitely with a better direction and a better what do you call it? Just a better overall picture. I mean, look at the dynamic and the makeup of this team from the final half of the season last year compared to now. I mean, I know a lot of people were speculating that after that hot start, if injuries weren't a case and if the stars aligned, we would have had a better season last year, but nature played its course, and we made the decision to swap it out. So, all right, I like it. 8. Chat, go ahead and leave your exact win total on how many games you think that we're going to win. But before we get into the meat and potatoes of this show, and now I'm hungry, I'd like to take a second to get to know our special guest, Izzy, because Izzy, I first encountered your work when you were on the roundtable episode of the Stacey King tribute, and I was absolutely impressed. Your knowledge of the game, your ability to the way you speak, it was very impressive, and I'm like, I would like to sit down and pick her brain. So, Dan Gracey, I ask for 10 minutes of your time. I'm gonna interview Izzy here and really get to know what got her into it, and jump in whenever you want with your questions as well, Dan Gracey.
Oh, for sure.
All right. First and foremost, Izzy, question is for the Bulls fans who don't know you yet. I'm gonna ask them to get out from under a rock and get educated. I'm gonna say, what got you into not only covering basketball but eventually writing for Roundtable?
Yeah, so Honestly, if you would have asked me if I like would think that I would be here today where I am even a year ago, I would have been like, no, you're playing around. But like everything just kind of really happened fast. I started working for Fordham University's sports radio station called WFUV Sports and started doing sideline reporting with them because I was like, oh, let me just see if I like this. And immediately the first time I did it, it like clicked. It was just like love at first sight. I absolutely fell in love with it. And was doing that for a long time. I still do that, during the season. And then I started beat reporting for the Nets. And then when I got back to Chicago, because Fordham is in New York City, my Twitter kind of started getting a little bit more engagement, especially after the draft combine and lottery. And then some of the guys from the roundtables reached out to me and they were like, "Hey, we really like your stuff. Would you like to be a contributor?" And I was like, "Yes, like this is so cool." It was like I was scouted on Twitter, so shout out or X or what. I'm never gonna get used to saying X, y'all, ever. I'm never gonna get used to it ever. But yeah, it was definitely not expected. I really do feel like I was scouted. So it's really cool that that was the
Yeah.
case.
See, talent recognize talent. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Real
Um,
recognition.
yeah. And then what drew you into covering the Bulls themselves? A lot of Chicago teams. Why the Bulls?
So I've honestly really only ever been infatuated with watching basketball. I'm not a baseball fan. I'm really not a football fan. I'm just the way that I am. I'm very like I like fast-paced games, and basketball is definitely exactly that. I grew up playing volleyball a lot. I really like the pace of that. So I've just always loved how the game of basketball works. And, like I said, when I started sideline reporting, I realized like, oh, this is actually something that I could pursue. And I've always been a Bulls fan, born and raised in Chicago. So when, the opportunity to be able to cover the Bulls came about, I was like, yeah, this feels right. And this is what I meant to do.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm with you
Yeah.
with the fast-paced games because yeah, I could follow football. I follow some baseball, but they take too many breaks. Like I'm used to just,
Mm.
the clock keeps running.
Yes.
I'm going to get made fun of a lot, but being Italian, my second sport is soccer
Yes.
because it's constantly moving. It's the perfect sport to throw on the background. You just sit there,
Mhm.
do your thing, and when you hear them talking faster, you look up and see what's going on, and then you can look back down. So I mean, it's a perfect sport.
That's a great
Um,
one. Yeah.
so what would be what was your fondest memory about the Chicago Bulls that really continued your love for not only this team but the sport itself?
Oh, that is a great question. Um, Well, I've always been a Bulls fan, but there was a time where I was just kind of like casually watching and I wasn't super into it. It wasn't until like 3 years ago, honestly, that I really started keeping up, not even just with the Bulls, but like the NBA as a whole. And what is my favorite memory? This is a crazy question. Oh my gosh. I might give like a weird answer. I don't know how you guys are gonna feel about this, but when I was um it was my first semester at Fordham, or no, it was my second semester at Fordham, my first year at Fordham. I was in my dorm watching the Lakers versus Bulls game where Josh Giddey threw up that huge half
Oh
court
yeah.
winning
Oh,
shot.
yeah.
There's certainly better Bulls moments, but like it just has sentimental value because I wasn't home to be able to watch it with my family. I was in New York and I just remember hearing that call. I thought the game was going to be over and I was just so excited. I was like, I was just so hype. I was trying not to wake up my roommate. I was trying not to get noise complaint by yelling. It was really awesome to be able to experience that, even if I was so far away. Like I felt like I was, in my apartment in downtown Chicago watching.
And what a good game to watch. I mean, that was, we battled back and everything fell into place
Yep.
between the Patrick Williams three, the stolen inbound, the Kobe White three, to, then Austin Reeves hits that little lay in. And I was like, oh, well, all that was for nothing. And then I'm like, they're going to have to pull something out of their hat to win this one. And then you see just a perfectly executed inbound to an even better Josh Giddey shot. Yeah, I think I must have lost my voice. Me and my oldest were just jumping around the townhome. I'm sure some of the neighbors felt the presence, but I mean, it was just a great game to watch.
It
Yeah, we all.
was.
The reason why I ask is we all like I love learning about why people love the team I love. You know what I mean? We all have different reasons, which is great. Like Dan, you started watching basketball from 2K, right? If I'm not mistaken. We all
Well, I
threw on
mean,
2K and
I watched like I don't really remember the first time, like the first 3 championships with Jordan, but like I remember bits and pieces from like the second three-peat. Yeah, but it was mainly Scott wanted me to get into NBA 2K, so I got 2K. Then that's how I got like back into basketball, and that's why I love Derek so much. It's because it exposed everything. Like all these emotions came back to me, and I was like, "Oh my god, I do love this sport."
Yeah. I mean, a video game, and then like for me, it was like a connection that I was able to do with my dad. My dad worked 6 days a week, owned his own business, so the only time I really had to see him, and the only thing I really had in common with the man was basketball. So it was a way for me to kind of just live the memory. So it's fun hearing what made people love the sport. This is something that's going to be, it's another tough question. I'm sorry. I prepared a tough rap sheet for this.
The heavy hitters. Okay.
The heavy hitters. Yeah. When you're watching the game, what is the first thing that your eyes gravitates towards? Like what draws you in about the game the most?
Wow, that is a great question. I don't think I've ever been asked that
That is a
before.
good
That is like,
question.
Sal, that's great.
Yeah. Good job.
I like
Sam.
interviews, man. I told you I love
job,
learning.
Sam. Wow. I think just kind of going back to how fast it is, like I said, growing up with volleyball, there are a lot of things that are similar about volleyball and basketball. Like it's just obviously like technically it's not that similar, but just the way that it moves kind of. And I love I just love how like there's so much running in it and like there's both ends of the floor. And like if there's like a crazy dunk, crazy three, like I think that's so exciting. And I think because it's so fast, like you really can't look away. I feel like in baseball, like if you look away for like 10 minutes, you're not maybe 10 minutes, but like, if you look
You would
away
have
for like,
missed one pitch.
yeah, like
Yeah,
you can be looking away for a considerable amount of time and like the score might change. But in the NBA and basketball as a whole, you look away for even like 30 seconds and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, wait, what just happened? What was that crazy play that everyone's freaking out about? So yeah, definitely. I love the pace of it.
Yeah, and the pace is again what keeps me going because I have a short attention span. If there's too many breaks, I get bored. I look at my phone and then I'd miss half the game.
Yeah.
Crunch was it 3-2 throws says crunch times. I love how they dissect each second. Absolutely. Now everyone has their favorite part of the game. I guess it's kind of similar but different to the last question. That is, what is your favorite offensive perspective of the game? Like, are you a fan of the 3-point shot? Are you more a fan of like the athletic layups? Or are you more a mid-range fan, the dunks? Like, what would say draws you in the most about offense?
I really do like dunks. Like I wish I could dunk so badly, but I'm only 5'8", so that's not feasible for me. But I think it's so exciting. Like just like a crazy poster dunk, like it'll get me hype. I don't care if it's a player I don't like I'm always gonna get hype over that. I think it's so cool. And it's not an easy skill to have. Like even if you're really tall, there's a lot of things that go into dunking. I think it's like a very strong portrayal of athleticism. And I think it's so fun to watch. I think it's electric.
Absolutely. That's what drew me in. Like, it was cool watching it was cool watching the NBA go from like see who can embarrass somebody with a dunk to let's see how far back we can shoot it. That was cool for a while, but I wish we could get back to like the dunking and dunking on people. Like one of my favorite players of all time was Sean Kemp, and he made it publicly known like he wanted to destroy you on dunks, not just put 2 points on the board. So I respect that. Now I'm going to shift more towards like your work and your writing, and I want to say what goes through your mind from the time of finishing the game, taking in all that information, that entire 48 plus minutes. What goes through your mind, and how do you prepare yourself to sit down and write that article?
It's a great question. So I haven't really written a lot of like game pieces for the Bulls just because like I really started covering them this summer. So like I'll give you an example. When I was at Summer League, I had to write, game pieces. And it's definitely like you really have to lock in and pay attention to things because if you miss, details, it's like, okay, you can look at a box score and look at the, the stats and stuff, but storylines are really important. So you really need to stay locked in. And you, like I'm saying, like you really can't look away from the game.
Yeah.
So I think just trying to connect storylines and like patterns to a lot of play. You know, as a sideline reporter, storylines are like one of the biggest things. It's not just this player is doing this player is doing that. It's more like, why are they playing the way that they're playing, and how does that kind of coincide with how they've played before, or how they're just doing kind of on the season. So yeah, really just like staying focused and paying attention to what's happening, not just the stats, I guess.
I love that answer because there was one thing I always preach on the show is like you can tell just by somebody's just the way they act if they watch the game or if they just looked at the box score and say, yeah, we played terrible. You know, we lost by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played terrible, but they don't see like key steals that brought them back, key runs that shifted momentum in the other direction. They don't see that, hey, at one point we were down by 30 and we made a push and finished strong, but so there's a lot to be said by just the box score, but you can tell more about people's fandom and how they watch the game by how they act and cover. So I love that answer. I'm really a big fan of your short videos on X or Twitter. Forgive me, I don't know what people call it now. So and I attempted to do the same a long time ago, and I'm not really good at speaking and doing things in one take. Like, and yours, they look like they come so natural, and I really envy that because I can't tell you how many times I have to hit stop and delete and reshoot all my takes just to get one good worthy of X video. So how many times do you have to record before you can nail it? Because it looks like you get it right the first time.
Oh, Sal, that is just not the case. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Honestly, I was recording a voiceover yesterday for a day in my life as a Bulls reporter, and I'm not kidding. I had to record it probably 10 times because I kept just like, there was like a plane in the background. I was like stuttering. I was like, no, we need to lock in. This needs to be good. But when I do when I do shorts, typically I would say probably on average it takes maybe like 4 takes, I think, probably. Usually I really lock in and I know what I'm gonna say. I usually write a script beforehand and I just like really study that. I memorize it. So obviously sometimes a lot of it is off the dome, but it's like off the dome. But I just do scripts because it's like it's easier to to know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I would say probably 4, sometimes more if there's like, I live in the city, so there's always sirens in the background. So sometimes I have to redo it because there's like, I'm like, oh my gosh, this sounds insane outside.
Yeah, I feel that because then there's times where like I'll actually nail it right and I'm all happy about it and I'll go back and listen to it before I post it. You can hear a lawnmower going off, you can hear a car drive by, you can hear all these other noises. I'm like, but then the takes that I butcher, it's plain quiet. You can hear a pin drop outside. So
That's how it works. Typically, that's how it goes.
Yeah, I might have to take a page out of your book and start writing scripts. Although I don't know how I'm gonna read, and I'll have to get better at it. But
Just gotta multitask. It comes once you get the hang of it. It does come easier to you.
Someone posted.
Oh, this is my YouTube. This is my YouTube.
This is our YouTube. Izzy, Hobo Raider, how can he find you on YouTube or X?
I honestly don't really post on YouTube, but I post everything, like all my shorts on X, a lot of them on Instagram, and I just made a TikTok account like last week, so I've been doing that too. But X and Instagram is like the majority of kind of the content that I put out.
Yeah, I tried doing TikTok and I can't. I think there's a generational gap between. Yeah, I just can't make it work. I got lucky with YouTube. YouTube kind of it was okay, but I can't do the others, which is why Instagram. I don't know heads or tails of it. So, kudos to those who know. You mentioned that you were at Summer League. I saw you at some of the Summer League games, and besides being in Vegas, I mean, just one of the most fun cities in the United States. What was it like being in that building and having these players around you and potentially sitting within arm's reach of these players that we watch on TV?
That's a really good question because it's honestly kind of surreal because these are players I've watched for years. And as a reporter, you kind of have to obviously not fangirl. I've definitely mastered the art of like being nonchalant, and like I'm like feet away from like, who was I was feet away from like Modest Buzelis, and I had to like chill, and like a bunch of these other players. But yeah, it's so cool because there's so many players, like new players, old players. Everyone is at summer league, and you'll see them at Vegas hotels. You'll see them literally everywhere. It's like every NBA player is there basically for the most part, and it's just such a cool environment because obviously there's the fans, and then there's the players, new and old, and there's a lot of reporters. So it's cool because it's a bunch of people who love ball, and it's just like it's so far it's probably my favorite experience reporting to date. Haven't been to All-Star Weekend yet. Hopefully that's coming up, so maybe that'll be my favorite, but it's really cool. And the second I left Vegas, I was like, I can't wait for next year because this was such an awesome experience.
Yeah, it probably you felt like you were in your element. You're surrounded by the sport you love and the players who love it as much as you. That's, yeah. I saw that. I'm like, man, I told Dan and Scott, I'm like, we gotta make a flight to Vegas and try to catch one of these games.
Yeah.
Although I don't know
mean,
how that'll work out, but
it'll work.
Sure.
We just gotta plan everything out. Like we were talking about going next year.
Yeah.
I think we'll see where we're at, but I mean, I'm
should.
100% down.
It's so awesome, really.
it'll be a fun time trying to explain to the missus, hey, I'm going to Vegas to watch basketball. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. And I'll come right back. I promise. I won't do any gambling. Just going for the basketball.
It's a work trip. It's a work trip.
It is.
Yeah, it's a work trip.
I know. I was telling my parents, they're like, "You're going to summer league and it's in Vegas." I'm like, "Yeah, it's like for work." It is. This for work.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it awesome? Like you could say, like, I do this for work. Like that's one thing that I mean, I don't have the privilege of doing that, but like it's one thing like I envy the people who can say like their job is the Bulls. Like I wish I could get to that status. So
it's it's
hopefully
surreal. It's definitely surreal. Like I definitely have moments where I'm like, not imposter syndrome, because like obviously I've proven that this is something I'm good at and I'm capable of doing, but it's sometimes like moments like that where you're at summer league and you're feet away from extremely famous players, like, wow, I cannot believe I'm here. Like I believe it because of the work I put in, but it's also like, if you would have told younger Izzy that she'd be there, she'd be like, nah, you're funny.
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel because I tell this to Dan and Scott all the time. If somebody would have told us that we would have not only survived on making the platform, but made it 100 episodes deep and built what we did, like I would say, there's no way. I mean, I joke about it all the time too. Dan, Scott, and I, we make dinner plans all the time, and I don't think how many times have we actually went out? We just like the idea of making plans.
We've never really gone out. We made a ton of plans though, but yeah, it's just I don't know. Adult life gets in the way.
It does. It does. If it wasn't for like our other friend that lives in Arizona getting married, that was the first time we ever been the three of us on a trip somewhere. It was fun.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. Last question here. I won't impose too much, but that is, how difficult is it? So you started writing last year, right? How do I word this here? What would you say has been the biggest struggle so far of starting your writing and your journey on covering the team, right in the midst of a rebuild? Would you say it has more upside, or do you feel more drawback because we're not a team like the Thunder, the Spurs, the Knicks that are already there and established?
So I'll be honest, like maybe in January to, obviously the end of the season, it was really rough to be able to write about the Bulls. And at the beginning of the off season, like before the draft, my boss was like, okay, we need Bulls content. I'm like, guys, there's nothing going on. There's nothing.
This team sucks. What do you want?
And sometimes, I feel like with a lot of teams, I mean, some teams, maybe that might not be the case, but it's moments like that make you appreciate like when there's so much action. And sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, there's too much action. I wish I wasn't there. I wish I didn't have to write, constantly or make videos about everything. But it's definitely more exciting when there's more happening. And I think the rebuild is just like, it's even more motivation for me to write, because if I could talk about, like this potential potentially awesome era, even before it really gets, put into motion.
Mhm.
I think that'd be pretty cool that I was able to talk about it before hopefully the Bulls run the NBA in a few years.
I like that optimism. Yeah, that was. It's a lot easier to make content and to be motivated when your team, I don't want to say is doing good. I don't want to come off as fair weather, but like it's a lot easier when the community's behind you, when your content is being consumed because
Yeah.
people are interested.
Yes.
There's one thing I noticed about the Bulls is like, basketball, we have our own, like, you could tell, like, if you watch basketball, if you like the Bulls, you love the Bulls. Like, you were there before, whereas like the Bears, Bears fans, it's really easy to be a Bears fan. They always lose, but somehow they have one of the biggest fan bases in, the NFL. Now, more recently, they're doing good. I'm talking more in their earlier years, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yes.
baseball and the Cubs. The Cubs have an extreme, like, one of the best fan bases in sports, and they won in 2016, but didn't win it for 100 years before then.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a lot more easier to be motivated when you have a good backing behind you. So Izzy, thank you so much. I'm done. I'm done picking your brain. The tough questions are done, at least
It was
for me.
great. It was all good.
Yeah,
I
I don't have
enjoyed
any
it. Thank you. Usually I'm the one doing the interviewing, so it's nice to be interviewed.
Now
It's like
the
different.
turntables have turned.
Yes, they have.
So now we can move on to talking about the team we love, and that is the Chicago Bulls. The reason why we're all here. Before we get in the next segment, I think you told us you went to Bulls Fest. I guess this interview isn't over. How was Bulls Fest?
It was actually really cool. I've actually never been to Bulls Fest, let alone as a reporter. So I kind of knew what to expect a little bit just because I've heard about it. I've seen it on Instagram, stuff like that. But it's really cool because there's fans of all different generations, a lot of young kids hooping. Obviously, like, there's some player appearances. Everyone was so hyped for Caleb Wilson and Dalen Swain. It was like Beyonce was in the building, which, like, kind of like, for Chicago sports, for the Bulls, like they
Yeah.
low-key are Beyonce's. So
Facts.
it was really awesome. I feel like a lot of the time when I report, it's like at a game or it's like more of a serious environment. I like this because it was light and I didn't really have to be like reporting on every detail. If I saw something cool, I shot a video of it. If I met someone that I like interacted with on Twitter, I was able to chop it up with them. So it's really, really cool. I really liked it.
Yeah, it looked fun. I mean, I've only seen it on social media here. I had my youngest birthday party was yesterday, and I think if I didn't go to that, I'd be in some big trouble. So I elected to make the smarter choice. But
Yes.
I was watching all the videos of fans, how they get to interact with Caleb, and just the energy that was at the United Center, and all the Bulls fans coming up, and it definitely looked like an electrifying atmosphere. And I'm with you. Yeah, I'll get starstruck by everybody. Plus, who wouldn't want to miss out on an opportunity to take a picture with Eddie Curry? I mean, come on, that's the reason why everyone went.
Stop.
It's insane.
And Ron Artest.
Did you see that? Did you see that one clip that it was on the Bulls social? Caleb Wilson was high-fiving a bunch of kids, and all the kids were just like, "I'm never washing my hands ever again, ever again."
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's gross.
That would be me. That would be me.
Honestly, I feel like there's grown men that say that about LeBron James. So like everything's
That
all
is true.
right.
That's true. God,
It
that's
glazes
so
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd probably be the same until it's like, all right, I got to grow up. But now moving on to the actual team and the season ahead of us, because we have kind of a real Rubik's Cube of a season where I've heard both. I've heard Bulls fans say that this season is going to be better than anticipated, and I've heard some other fans go, this season isn't going to be as rainbows and sunshines as everyone thinks. So my question to you both is, what is a realistic expectation for the Chicago Bulls this season? Like, more or less, what would you like to see? Not only what would you guys consider a successful season?
It's a great question. I think just kind of being able to like play good basketball. Obviously, last season wasn't good, but with all the trades that happened, it really felt like it was like very broken up and fragmented. And I feel like this team feels a lot more whole. Obviously, it's going to take some time for everyone to, blend together and like really gel and form a pretty strong chemistry. But I think it looks a lot more whole, and just like I said earlier, like the vibes are just better. Like it feels like we might be, if not this season, like in the next upcoming seasons, like we might be back, honestly. So I think just being able to like work together and develop players, like I would love to see Modest Buzelis take a big leap. I would like to see more from Josh Giddey. Obviously want to see Caleb, debut and kind of really lock in with that. But I mean, hopefully getting in the play-in would be nice because last year we didn't. Like, hopefully get past a few games maybe. So yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I love the rebuild. I'm patient. I want to see everything, work out properly, but at the same time, man, I really want us to just jump back in the playoffs, man. We haven't seen the playoffs since what, 2021? I mean, that's a long time for Chicago to be without a postseason.
Yeah.
And hopefully we don't run into a Miami Heat team in the play-in if we do make it that far. Dan Gracey, realistic expectations for the 2026 season. Optimism aside, pessimism aside, what is the realistic expectation?
I think like on the high end will be like the 9th seed in the East. Just like what Izzy was saying, the vibes are good this time around. I think we're definitely a better unit overall than last season. So yeah, on the high end, 9th seed, maybe get in that play-in spot. Being in the play-in isn't bad this time around because, the whole tanking, you can't tank this year or going forward.
Forever.
So yeah, I'm just excited for the season to start. I'm with you, Sal, and just like, I want the Bulls to be back, but I know this is probably going to take some time.
Yeah, and we always said it on this show, at least, and I always say it just in general. I'm okay with our team being out of the spotlight and not, and I'm okay with the growing pains. I mean, as long as they go out there and they leave it all on the court, and that at the end of the buzzer, they gave every ounce of their being to going for that win. Because again, if you know me, I'm very anti-tanking. But I respect if you are. Just me, I like when my team goes out there and tries to win every single game. I think that Commissioner Silver putting forth those tanking rules was a blessing to the game because I'm sick and tired of seeing a team where their intention was to lose. And I'm not saying that a team goes out there with the intention to lose, but sometimes you could tell. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you can't convince me that there's teams that know how to strategize not winning the game. So I just want the Bulls to go out there and all 82 games, they mean something. Try your best. So I share you guys' opinion.
Yeah.
So what would be now we're going to shift towards kind of like win totals. What would you say is the absolute floor of this team?
Ooh. How many did they win last season? 32 or 31?
31, yeah, 31.
Yeah.
31. Well, I surely hope it's more than that. So, like, I'm gonna say floor, like absolute floor. I wish it, like, I'm gonna hope that it's more than like 35 or 40.
Okay, I like that. I like the optimism. Yeah. Okay. Dan Gracey, absolute floor.
My floor is like the second worst team in the East. Like if one of our players gets injured, like if Mataz gets injured or Caleb gets injured or Caleb doesn't. I'm not saying it's gonna happen.
Yeah, knock on wood.
I'm not saying it's gonna.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, with the NBA, you never really do know what's gonna happen. Like who knows? Like maybe James Harden gets hurt on the Cavs, and that helps the Bulls go up the rankings. But if one of us gets hurt, or what if we don't gel right, or what if the chemistry's off? What if Thiago can't implement his system, or isn't that good of a coach as we thought he is? So, like, my floor is the floor.
The absolute
basement.
floor. The basement. Yeah. I like your outlook on that, because I feel as though, like, that's something that when we're predicting the seasons, injuries are very much a real aspect of the game. I know our record last season reflected 31 wins, but it didn't reflect that, the back half of the season was the product of a bunch of odd trades and a bunch of players just out there who've never really had a chance to gel and get that chemistry under their belt, and they're just randomly they're just out there doing their thing. And the front half of the season was actually working out really well, until injuries came into play. So Dan Gracey
Yeah.
took
Can you hear
took the
me?
camera. I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
I unplugged the wrong thing. I was trying to unplug my light because it's bugging me.
Okay. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this team could develop into.
Mhm.
Thoughts on Tiago Splitter, because this is his first season as a head coach in the NBA. Of course, he's had a majority of his experiences come either assistant or overseas. And his first real head coaching experience came in the form of Chauncey Billups getting in some legal trouble, to which one game in the season, to which you needed to see him step in, and where the expectations were minimal. He made it work. He brought him to a 42-40 record and their first postseason, and helped us get the 14th overall pick. So, what would your thoughts and expectations for Tiago Splitter year one, Izzy?
I actually really like him. I was not really fond of Billy Donovan. I feel like that's the nicest way that I could put it. I'm not going to shade him. I'm sure he's a nice man, but like as a coach, I really was not high on him. I really didn't like
Mhm.
him. And I like Tiago Splitter because yeah, he seems a little serious. Like from interviewing him myself, like he seems serious, but it's good because like you could tell that he's assertive. And I feel like we definitely need a coach that's going to take the initiative. Because honestly, from Billy Donovan, especially towards like the end of his tenure, I was not seeing any initiative at all. And I think that this Bulls team, not that they like don't have direction, because obviously with this rebuild they do, but I feel like he's the perfect guy to kind of implement that direction and
Yeah.
that way to just like stay locked in and kind of just like keep going forward. Even if you're not going to win every game, like you need to play good basketball. And I think I think he definitely has some systems and philosophies that are going to bring that forth.
Yeah, I like that answer, because one word that, the times that I've seen Tiago publicly announce the media or talk to the media, he always says one word that always gets me excited, and that's work. He always says, "Be
Mhm.
prepared to work, get ready to work," and I feel like that's a mentality your coach needs to have. You need to tell your players, "Hey, it's time to get to work," but not just come in, have fun with your friends, shoot some hoops, and then you go home and be about your day. You need to come in and work and march towards the standard of basketball that Chicago is known for. We need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And I feel like with Tiago Splitter, you're finally getting a coach with a personality that brings exactly that to the table. I've seen a lot of similarities drawn between him and Ben Johnson, because Ben Johnson said a similar thing on the Bears, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think that's a great philosophy to have, and look exactly what Ben Johnson accomplished with the Bears so far. So I'm excited to see if Tiago reflects that with the Bulls. Dan Gracey, thoughts on Tiago? I know I've heard him before, but refresh
Yeah.
my memory.
Obviously, very optimistic. I know I just said a bunch of bad things that could happen. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think Tiago is a good coach. He filled in for Chauncey beautifully. No one thought that Blazers team was going to be nowhere near like even the play-in, and they made the playoffs. So I have nothing but high hopes for Tiago. I'm really excited to see what he does with this team. I know he has like a good balanced system. And like you said, Sal, like he always talked about work. And with this young team, you gotta let them know it's time to get to work.
Exactly. Yeah. You gotta represent the city on your chest the right way. So very good answers. Very, very good answers. Now moving on to more I know it says expectations, but really more or less what I want to really touch on is, what are some things that you guys think that could help speed this rebuild up a little bit? Where we are patient, we are Bulls fans after all, and we're Chicago fans. Patience is basically synonymous with sports here. What are some things that you really think could help kind of put the fire to the rebuild?
Hmm. I said it before, but I do kind of expect a bigger leap from Modest. I mean, his rookie season was great. We got a kind of a sense of the player he can be in this team, and his sophomore year was obviously excellent. And I feel like this year, like he's really going to step up, especially like playing alongside Caleb. I feel like those two are going to be a dynamic duo is what I'm hoping. I'm really, really
Yeah.
optimistic for them. What else? I think, kind of in the past, our center position like hasn't been, not that it hasn't been good. I don't want to like be mean, but I feel like we haven't had a center that was like really, really able to deliver. And I
Yeah.
like Nick Claxton for this job because, I beat report for the Nets. I've seen him play many, many times, been able to interview him a few times. I like his mentality and I really like him as a player. He's like kind of like a slept on player, underrated because the Nets had such a bad season. And I think his talent was kind of, you know, overshadowed because his
Yeah.
team was not doing well. And I feel like the Bulls are really going to allow him to kind of show why they decided to bring him in because he's a great player. He really is. He's very efficient. And yeah, I think now that we have, some better players in these, key positions, I feel like it's gonna be a lot better for
Yeah.
morale for just the team at large.
Mhm.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. When we picked up Claxton, I felt exactly that. It's not that I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. Not that I didn't like Vucevic. Vucevic at one point was my favorite player on the team, more for his antics than for his play style. But we had an offensive-minded center that spent most of his time on the perimeter. His rebounds were just how high he can jump up and back tap the ball, and that was what he called rebound. And so it's going to be great to see a center that is going to stay down low, fight for those boards, and make people work for those buckets. I mean, we said it all the time. The really the front court of the Bulls between Caleb, Modis, and Claxton is going to be a really tough. Once it
It's a
all
dirty front court.
yeah, yeah. Once it all gels
Like,
and once we're established, like that is going to be a tough front court to drive the ball on. I want to see us run a lot of 2-3 zone and see how that works out because that is going to make it very difficult for teams to get those easy points, which we fell victim to a lot. So yeah, I was with you. Once we picked up Claxton, we made that trade. I was extremely excited, and finally we get a center that I liked. I like a defensive center.
Yeah.
I'm not. Dan Gracey, thoughts on Nick Claxton?
I think he's very underrated. Like as you said, like the Nets weren't the best team last season, so a lot of like what he was doing went unnoticed. I was thrilled when we got him, and the fact that we pretty much got him for nothing made me even more excited. Like, oh my god, a competent GM and a good player. This is so rare to happen to the Bulls. So I was very excited. I'm glad we finally got a rim running center, a good blocker, defender. Just overall, I do think that he's better than Vooch. No shade to Vooch at all. Vooch is an amazing player. I mean, I think last season, multiple times we said Vooch was our most consistent player, and at times he was our best player. So no shade to him, but yeah, I'm going to probably say this throughout the entire episode. I'm so excited for Bulls basketball to come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
and honestly, when it's all said and done, I know a lot of people love to hate on Vooch, but let's face the facts. He could go down as our third best center this franchise has ever seen. We're talking
Possibly.
artists. We're talking, Joakim,
Joe.
and then there's
Yeah.
Vucevic. I mean, you could throw
Yeah.
Cartwright in there. You could throw whatever, but he is up there with some of the best centers that we've had. So it's good to see him go back to Orlando and kind of whatever he's going to do there, finish off his
Yeah.
career. But I'm very happy to have Nick Claxton. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Moving on now, a question that I have for you guys is more for that final roster spot that we have opened up. There's a lot of names that got thrown around. Benedict Mathurin, of course, Cam Whitmore, a potential buyout, landing on the Bulls, or just leaving that spot completely open. And I really want to know, what would you guys think would be a good fit or a good choice for that final roster spot?
I've thought about this a lot, honestly. I think just because the season, like we've already had so many new additions, it's like it really does look like it's a brand new team for the most. Not,
Mhm.
obviously there's still a lot of returning players, but like so many moves were made during this offseason that they don't know how they're even going to play with the players that they have. So like why add another player and give up, assets if they don't know how they're going to gel already with the players that they have. I feel like don't rush. There's really no need to rush. It doesn't need to be this like crazy monster stacked roster. Like there's just
Right.
not really I feel like that's just kind of not necessary right now. So I feel like let them play for a decent amount of time and then kind of go from there. I really don't like the idea of rushing just because they have this open roster spot. It's like, oh, should we just fill it just because we have it? Let's take some time.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. There's no rush. It's a roster spot. It's not going anywhere if you don't fill it.
Mhm.
I like it. I like it. Dan Gracey, how do you feel about that last spot?
I mean, I'm with Izzy. There is no rush. I mean, we're rebuilding. We just started to rebuild, so why rush it? When you were talking about Matherin, though, I still see trade rumors that the Bulls are interested in him. I wouldn't be mad if the Bulls trade it for him because I do think we need more offense coming off the bench. But like, yeah, let's see what we got first. Like, let's wait until at least the trade deadline before we make any like hasty moves. There's no need to rush this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, that's the thing is, usually with that last roster spot, it's always my understanding, like, it's not going to be your franchising changing piece with that 15th spot.
Right.
Like, it's
It's
always
gonna be
going
some
to be
two-way
just
player.
yeah, it'll be a role player, two-way player,
Yeah.
or some veteran leadership.
Just
Which
some-
me, I always err on the you can't get enough locker room guys. Like, there's a reason why like players like James Johnson, you never see him play a minute on the court, but they're always on an NBA franchise somewhere because they're just a great locker room guy. So personally, I'd like to see them fill that spot with somebody like that. But also, if it's not the right player, don't spend the money. You know what I mean? There's no reason. And also, you got 14 other guys. Let's take a good look at this team before we can address what we need. I mean, I like both of your answers. So this has been a great episode so far. We've reached the back half of it where we start playing our fun games. But before we do that, Dan Gracey,
Yes.
do you know what's cool?
What's cool, Sal?
Showing love to your favorite Chicago Bulls podcast by sliding over to their storefront and picking up some of their merch. Ladies and gentlemen, on the screen in front of you is a QR code, or if you're watching on Instagram, the link is provided down below with a direct click to our storefront where you can pick up a wide variety of all of our great merch, including hats, shirts, vests, flip-flops. I'm going to add a flag,
Backpacks.
Dan Grease, backpacks, and phone cases. So slide over there, pick some up for yourself or a loved one, and use promo code HORNS10 to get 10% off of your entire purchase.
Do we still have the Christmas sweater up there?
We do. I have it in my closet actually right now.
Ooh.
I love that sweater. I can't wait.
Festive.
I need to get one. I need to get me one. So
I need to get an updated size. I've put on a couple pounds since I bought that sweater, and I refuse to buy another size up. So
what size did you get?
it's large. So
Okay, I'll get a bigger size, and then we can just swap.
Okay. All right. That'll make me feel a lot better. The only pawn, welcome. Sam Fernandez, 105. He says punch and good morning, Sam Fernandez. I saw a clip of you sleeping. Don't think I didn't notice. So Izzy, before we head out, we usually play a couple games. One is called the Bulls Barrage. And that is a game very, very similar to Family Feud's Fast Money. I don't know if everyone watches Family Feud. You know Fast Money, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I love Steve Harvey. He's so
Everyone
funny. Cracks me up.
So, he's definitely my favorite host of Family Feud. So what happens is I ask you guys a series of 5 questions, and then you answer them as fast as possible. The other person will either mute their mic or take their headphones on while the other person answers. And when they come back, they answer the same 5 questions. That you cannot duplicate You cannot duplicate the answers, because if you do, I'm going to buzz you out, and then you're going to hear this sound, and then Steve Harvey's going to call me and say that I should not do that. But in the meantime, this is what we're going to do. Who wants to go first? Dan, you're the defending champion.
I'll let Izzy go first. It's fine.
Okay, sounds
Thanks,
good.
Dan.
And chat.
Yeah.
And chat in the comment section, I want you to comment your winner. And we're going to determine who wins by using hashtag Team Izzy for Team Izzy, obviously, and Team Dizzy for Team Dan. So Izzy and Dizzy. So
Yes.
Dan doesn't have his headphones on, or he'd be lighting me up for that one. So that's fine. All right. So if you're ready to play, let's get going.
I need to do something with my headphones. I can hear everything still.
Just turn the volume down.
All right. You're good.
All right. You sure? Okay, good.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Question 1. Name the one bull you trust most to take the biggest leap this season.
Modest Buzelis.
Question 2. Name one thing that could derail the Bulls' rebuild.
Shoot. Getting complacent.
Love that. Question 3. Name one player you would build the next 5 years around.
Can I give 2 answers?
You sure can.
I'll go Modest and Caleb.
Okay. Question 4. Name one statistic that would convince you that this rebuild is working.
Better 3-point shooting.
Okay, perfect. And question 5. Finish the sentence. The Bulls will make the playoffs if.
They lock in.
Oh, okay, good. Dan Gracey, you're good to go. Great answers. I don't think Dan's going to win this one. He's not even paying attention. You're good.
Dizzy, come back.
Oh, he just left completely. Oh, there you go.
He's like,
All
I'm done.
Dan Gracey, you got your work cut out for you for this one. A lot of good answers. So, are you ready?
I mean, I guess.
You gotta be confident, Dan. Come on.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Not on
ready.
the line.
I'm ready.
All
ready.
right.
Let's go.
Question 1. Name one Bulls you trust to take the biggest leap this season.
Oh, I want to say Matas, but I feel like Izzy said that. I'll say
Did she?
Trey Jones.
Okay.
That's
Name
interesting.
name one thing that could derail this Chicago Bulls rebuild.
Injuries.
Okay, I like that. Name one player you would build the next 5 years around.
Oh, that's Caleb. Yeah, I figured. Mataz. That doesn't make sense.
I allowed her to give her 2. She's the guest. She gets 2 answers.
Oh my god.
I couldn't pick. I'm indecisive.
That's
P-Will
fair.
172.
Whatever.
What's up?
Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me to pick P-Will.
No.
Like,
No. Oh my god.
Patrick Williams. No.
I guess Giddy. I don't
Okay.
really know.
Okay, that's
There
fair.
you go. Name one statistic that will convince you that this rebuild is working.
One statistic.
Yep.
The win column.
Okay. I like that. And finally, finish the sentence. The Bulls will make the playoffs if.
The vibes are good.
Is that similar?
I think
Oh,
it's
what?
I think it's different.
Okay. All right. I'll
Wow.
allow it.
Izzy, what did you
Izzy
say?
said lock in.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
nuanced.
All right. Chat, comment in the comment section. Team Izzy or Team Dizzy for Dan. You're dizzy today, Dan.
Okay,
And we'll announce the winner at the end of the show. Izzy, our final segment is a little game we like to call Mount Hornsmore. It's a game where I give you a category and you just rank the top 4 of a various category, and you don't have to rank them. You can just give your 4 picks. And chat, please go ahead and comment your Mount Hornsmore in the comment section down below. And that is today's Mount Hornsmore is rank your top 4 Chicago Bulls players of all time. They don't have to necessarily be the best, just 4 players that really got you loving the Chicago Bulls.
Okay. Michael Jordan, of course, number 1. And then I'll go D Rose. And then shoot, this is kind of hard. I'll go DeMar DeRozan. No,
Nice.
wait, no.
Oh,
I'm gonna go Modest 3rd,
Good.
and then DeMar 4.
That's a good answer. That's a good
Yeah.
answer. Yeah. Whenever I ask this, it's kind of like, when somebody asks you like, what's your favorite song? It's like, wow, I don't know. Or what's your favorite movie? I don't know, but
Yeah.
really good answers. Really, really good answers. Dan Gracey, your Mount Hornsmore of favorite Bulls players.
I'm gonna go with Jordan, Rose. I'm gonna go with Joe, and then I'm gonna go with Ronnie Brewer.
You liked really? Okay.
I loved Ronnie Brewer.
Finest Brew.
Yeah, I think he was
I love that.
underrated. And
I agree.
I hated that Tom chose to start Keith Bogans over him. I truly hated that.
Do you guys remember that stat where
I'm gonna sorry, real quick. I'm gonna take Ronnie Brewer off and put in the man from Sudan, Luolde.
Oh yeah. He's on my list. So that's a good answer. But do you remember that stat that the games that Keith Bogan scored over 6 points, like the Bulls had like over a 90% win percentage.
Yeah.
Like, and the man was in our starting lineup, provided no offense whatsoever, but
none.
Defensively he was top tier. So Dan Gracey, you have been dethroned. Team Izzy wins. Thank you for your vote.
Figured.
Two votes to none.
I could say Caleb or Bataz. Like that's.
I mean, like they're both feasible answers.
Yeah.
You could have said
They
2.
are.
Yeah, you could have said 2.
But I still couldn't have said those 2.
Well, there's
That's
other players.
Yeah.
You could have said like Josh Giddey and Trey Jones.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Scotty B makes his own rules up all the time, so I don't know why.
Dude, for real, he does not play this game right at all.
P. Willens Mount Hornsmore is Michael Jordan, 2 Michael Jordan, 3 Michael Jordan, and 4 Scottie Pippen. That is a great thing. That is a great that's a great answer. That's like the Chappelle, like dial on, and dial on.
Right.
And in reality, who better than MJ?
True.
Izzy, thank you so much for stopping by. Unfortunately, we've reached that sad time where we got to say goodbye to everyone. But mainly, huge thank you for popping on, taking up some of your Sunday afternoon and hanging out with Dan Gracey, myself, and the people watching. So before we head out, final statements. Floor is yours. Tell everyone where they can find you or just whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, it's too much pressure. I guess I'll say you can find me on Instagram, X, TikTok at Izzy Knows Hoops, same username everywhere. A lot of exciting stuff coming up with this season, a lot of general NBA stuff I'm going to be posting, a lot of Bulls coverage, hopefully get to some games when I'm back from school for break, do some interviews, stuff like that. Yeah, this has been really fun. I'm so honored and excited that you invited me to be on. I love this. Sick.
Honors on this side of the table. Thank you so much. Yeah, like I said, when I found you on that Stacey King tribute, I was very impressed. I was very blown away with just how well you speak and your knowledge of the game. And yeah, the fact that you're Italian helped a little bit too, because I have a personal bias there. But
It's all right.
I support my paisanos, man. There's a reason why Paolo Banchero is one of my favorite players in the league.
True. Italians got to stick together. Sicilians especially got to stick together.
Absolutely right. Dan Gracey, non-Italian Dan Gracey, what do you have?
Yeah,
for everyone?
Sorry. Honorary. It's honorary.
Honorary.
Not much at all. I said at the beginning of the show, it's my birthday, so turning 38, getting old. But But yeah, I got nothing really going on. Hoping to go to maybe a Bulls game or two this season. Yeah, other than that, I got nothing.
All right, awesome. Well, I have something, and that
What you
is
got?
I am going to publicly embarrass you, Dan Gracey, because the plan for the show was at the end when I give my final statements. We're going to sing you off on your special day. So,
Stop.
so
We
chat,
have
join
to.
me in wishing Dan Gracey a very happy birthday. What are you, 25 now? I'm being nice.
Sure,
Not that nice.
sure.
Happy birthday
Thanks.
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dan
to
Gracie.
Gracie.
Happy birthday to you. I got to
Thank you,
work
thank
on
you.
the bars, man. I
job.
got to.
Great job.
It's all right.
Don't credit that. That was terrible. Izzy kind of stole the show there. I have a terrible voice for singing.
I didn't know we were going to say Dan or Dan Gracie, so I was a little off. I was like, are we doing full name? I don't know.
Sam Fernandez
thank you,
says
thank you.
happy birthday. The Pond says happy birthday, and 3-2 throw said happy birthday, Dan. Dan, you have
thank
yourself
you.
a good day. And by that, I'm gonna close this by saying Dan's favorite line is chat. Thank you for being in the chat and participating. If you're watching this, please head over to Izzy's socials and check out her work. She does a phenomenal job, as well as please show some love in the comment section. I do appreciate her stopping by. I look forward to many more times that she comes back and joins us again for round 2. Defend her title of Bulls Barrage and see if she can go undefeated.
I have to. I have to.
Yeah. But with that being said, Bulls fans, if you're watching this from Bulls Fest, have some fun. Take a couple pictures because I'm watching from afar on X and socials. So, with that being said, we'll be back next week and just and we'll do this again. So, with that being said, we encourage our Bulls fans to keep their hoops high, but their horns even higher. Happy Sunday, everybody. Have a good day.